Alrighty, so it has been 8 days, 10 days, 9 days, something like that since my last video. What have I been up to? So it's kind of holiday season right now, so everything slows down due to that, but I have been doing some random stuff. This one's kind of an after the fact video as opposed to a before the fact video, so I'm just going to pull up my patch notes here and use that as kind of a guide to explain what the heck I've been up to. So it's going to be just kind of like a rapid fire what I've done thing, so let's get into it. First, we got a new ranger hero. She kind of attacks a lot quicker and moves a lot quicker than the basic hero. Definitely much harder. She also comes with 2 new attacks. One is arrow shot. It's basically similar to the regular sword shot. It moves just a lot quicker, hits a little bit lighter, and fires a lot faster. There's also dagger throw, which is a little bit similar to the axe throw, but not quite. So it targets a random projectile instead of just a random direction. Also rotates when it throws, but it doesn't pierce. It just hits once and then it disappears. Also, a mini boss monster has been added. Just basic zombie sprite, just double the size and way more health than the regular ones. I think the regular ones have 5. This one has 500. The basic hero really struggles with it, but the ranger hero can really tear it up if it's all that's left on screen. Monsters and heroes now have damage numbers that pop up whenever they get hit. This is just a little bit of footage of the ranger actually doing her thing, throwing her knives, shooting her arrows. I feel like the arrows look a little bit better whenever they, randomly jump around and track, but hey, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, everything else, you can get more rats, but you'll just see the damage numbers as she just absolutely demolishes the rats. There's also been a hit effect, like a hit flash effect added to everything, as opposed to the weird animation state change that occurred. That was due to a janky system that I had in place, but a lot of work this time, not so much as adding new features, but it was around changing the balancing a little bit. But really this entire update is just about fixing a ton of bugs that existed in the game. And I figured I would just read a few of them while I'm here. The first obvious one is the hitboxes are now adjusted, so everything, oh wow, that's a really good roll right there. Everything just kind of dies in a much more realistic way. Before, heroes would overkill real hard. So like they would waste 2 to sometimes 3 projectiles on an already dead monster. That doesn't occur anymore. So it really makes the game just a heck of a lot harder from the get-go. I also replaced the background. Ooh, that's another really good upgrade. I replaced the background from a parallax tile set to just a regular sprite kind of thing, which has been working really well. I think it increased the performance by about 100% in my testing, which was really good. Ooh, another really good upgrade. Take that. And then the pacing has been changed a little bit, so par time for pretty much every hero is supposed to be about 5 minutes, depending on your level of upgrade. Definitely sooner for some of them, but I just kind of doing a little bit of tweaking. The ranger's not really balanced quite yet, so now we should actually see a mini boss come in. So I'm actually going to spawn some rats to distract her from the mini boss, because we just hit level 10, although there he is. Yeah, we got her. Another change, heroes. I actually killed her much quicker than I thought, but I also got really good rolls. So more balancing to come, but not that concerned. Another balance change, heroes are worth individual point values now instead of just 1,000. So your basic hero is worth 1,000, the ranger is worth 1,750, so significantly more. And everything else is good. I also fixed a bug around round time. If you would finish a hero off, I believe the range was like 30 to 50 seconds or something like that, you would get 0 points just because of the way I was doing math, so not a thing anymore. You go to the main menu. Another thing that I fixed is inside the upgrade screen, the way these were being calculated was all kinds of weird. I'm actually going to go over here and turn my sound effects volume back on. It was being all kinds of weird, so you would actually be able to overbuy items and actually lose out on currency, which isn't something we really wanted. but now everything works. There was also a funny thing where if you bought this, sometimes it would crash the game. There is still a little bug where the thing disappears, just due to the way that I have all the stuff being updated. I'm kind of seeing this label system being temporary, so I'm probably not going to fix that. But yeah, now you can buy all your upgrades, everything like that. I still need to come in with a pop-up that just says, hey, not enough money. But before you would go into the negative whenever you would buy an upgrade sometimes, so fix that as well. The end of game logic is also fixed. That was a really big problem for me at the very end of the game. If you finished it as soon as like a wave was spawning, you would sometimes run into like a crash. That doesn't occur anymore, which is really, really awesome, but not very interesting to see. Also fixed a temporary memory leak to how the game pause state was being handled. Very, very annoying to track down, but I eventually figured out that it was just the way the pause state was being handled, and resources weren't being freed. It was actually kind of infuriating to find out. Also made sure that all of these little spritey effects are now being properly cleared out at the end. Also fixed a XP glitch at the end of the game. Sometimes all the XP things weren't cleaned up. So if you were to instantly jump back into another game, right at the end of one game, you would be able to just get like a big old bump of XP without any kind of actually killing of monsters or preventing the hero from claiming anything like that. So fix that as well. Also a really big pain in the butt. But that is almost all the bug fixes I've done. There's a few known ones out there. Sometimes, especially like, I'll show you this one. This one still is persistent because I didn't fix it. You can actually still spawn in monsters at the pause screen. Shouldn't be able to do that, but this does get really good at like causing collisions for physics, so this is a known issue. Likely what will happen is once we unpause, you'll see some people fling from this side of the screen to this side of the screen, is usually what happens. And that's because they're spawning on top of each other and they have a little physics fight. Yeah, that guy. Can't fix that right now. Really all I have to do is disable the ability to have like people spawned like that so quickly. There is like a little timer on how quickly they can spawn with each other, but it doesn't always work. I had to put a little bit more work into that system at some point, but not the end of the world, so that's not kind of at the top of my list of things to fix. Doesn't really impact gameplay that much. I removed hero melee attacks. So before, whenever monsters would touch the hero, they would just basically be killed because the hero would do like a retaliatory attack. That's not a thing anymore. Basically, heroes can just get munched on in perpetuity. Let's give myself 50 MP. Let's upgrade my MP rate. And then now, monsters like kind of chew on the hero at like kind of like a fixed rate. But as you can see, the game is much harder now that the hitbox issues have been fixed. Like the monsters can really chew through some serious amounts of zombies without too much sweat. So you really do need to kind of rely on leveling up faster. So that's why I kind of adjusted the balance right there. That is happening more often than I thought. The little guy's flying across, but hey, now we should have a zombie mini boss. The basic hero, not so good at dealing with him, just because he has so much health. Let's switch to the left side and then summon monsters in, and then we should probably be able to take him down here. But yeah, oh, we got him finally. Okay, cool. So what I was saying before is before, monsters would only be able to hurt the hero as soon as they entered their hitbox, and then they'd have to leave again to hit him again, so you'd have to kind of get away from him. Not the case anymore. Now they hit him whenever they walk into the hitbox initially, and they also hit him every, I believe the cooldown was 0.2 seconds for how long they remain inside the hitbox. So they kind of just munch away at the hero, which is, you know, a lot more realistic, a lot more fun, in my personal opinion. But we also just took down this guy pretty quickly too. So definitely some balance update needed, but you know, as the main menu says, right here, Alpha 2.2, I don't really know if I'm going to keep developing the game in perpetuity, but I'm definitely still having fun with it. So I'm definitely going to probably make another patch. I think I'm going to take some time and sort out the code on the back end just to make it a lot more scalable, I believe is the word I want to use. So everything will just be a little bit tighter on the back end, so I can have a better framework for just kind of expanding things. So maybe not an update in a week, maybe an update in a week, not entirely sure, but for right now this is kind of about as much as I'm going to do. There's another demo of this version up on itch.io, link in the description. Also, hey, if you're watching this and you're just kind of interested in game development, I might be doing a little bit more long form videos that aren't just devlogs and stuff like that, who knows. So just go ahead and get subscribed, throw this video a like, helps the algorithm and stuff like that. I'm just a part-time developer. This is just something I do in my afternoons, so if I can get any kind of, you know, a little bit of side hustle money, that would be awesome, just so I actually get a little bit of a payoff for just doing this in my spare time. I don't fully anticipate ever being able to be good enough to be a full-time game dev, but hey, if I could make enough money to kind of hire an artist or whatever, get capsule art, actually invest a little bit of time into paying somebody for sound effects or something like that. Really the way I envision it is all the money that comes into me for this game or other games, I'm basically going to be redistributing to people to make art and music, and you know, maybe hire like a game designer, really just like redistribute the money. I can't really become a full-time game developer unless I get mega super awesome lucky, just because I have a wife and kids and I need a steady income. So this is definitely not something I'm going to be able to do full-time unless I get ungodly lucky and it takes off. I think that pretty much wraps it up, other than you can hover over these things and it just explains what they are, and also heroes have difficulty now. So a little bit of flavor text there too. But otherwise, I think there was one other change under the hood that I wanted to just bring up. Heroes now, whenever you toggle between them, the button now takes in their icon. Now that there's more than one hero, I had to add that. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this devlog. I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me, and I will see you all next time.